Welcome back to JKP Rising. Today, the Dead Space 4 movement moves one step closer to an official Dead Space 4 game. Thanks to those connections brought to you by Tanya Clarke. Thank you so much, Tanya. You have been a fantastic help. Thanks to Tanya Clarke, I have now been in talks with an employee from Visceral Games and an employee from Electronic Arts. In today's video, I'll be showing everyone the emails going back and forth and what will more than likely become an interview, where I can interview either the employee from Visceral Games or the employee from Electronic Arts, surrounding their involvement with the Dead Space franchise, the series, the games, books, anything Dead Space. I also want to let everyone know that next Saturday, May 27th, I'll be hosting a gaming night on Dead Space 2 multiplayer. Hopefully this gives everyone enough chance to plan out their week, and if they want to come play with me, send a message to JKP Rising on Xbox, join my game. I can't invite everybody, but I'll be swapping through people when we'll be playing some Dead Space 2 multiplayer. So hopefully that gives you guys enough time to get ready for this gaming night. I don't know what time it's going to be yet, but I'll let everyone know more details coming up later on in the week, or maybe next week before that Saturday. Anyway, let's get into these emails. So I mentioned before that Tanya gave me a connection. That first connection was Chuck Beaver, who is an employee at Visceral Games. If you look on his IMDb, this is what he's worked on regarding Dead Space. As we can see, Chuck Beaver is a producer and a writer known for Dead Space Aftermath, and Dead Space 2. He was also a producer on Dead Space 3. In my first email to Chuck, I said the following: "Hello, my name is James. Tanya Clarke gave me your email and you said it was okay to reach out to you. Thank you so much for letting me reach out to you. This is all very overwhelming and I am currently honored to be part of this movement. I run a YouTube channel called JKP Rising where I post videos on a variety of games like Halo, Deus Ex, BIOSHOCK, METROID, and most importantly, Dead Space. www.youtube.com/JKP Rising. I have started a Dead Space 4 movement to echo this game into existence. Dead Space 3 left off on a cliffhanger, and we as the fans of Dead Space would love to see another game. Since I started covering Dead Space back in October 2016, I've made many videos around a possible Dead Space 4, and even got to interview 2 voice actors from the game, as well as generate attention for the series again, and build excitement for another possible installment in the series. I linked Chuck to the interview of Tanya Clarke gonna write. I showed him our Discord page, our Facebook page, the petition, and then I said this at the end. We have also been emailing, calling, messaging, Instagramming, Facebooking, tweeting EA, Visceral Games, and Dead Space themselves, letting them know that we want Dead Space 4. I apologize in advance for any constant bombardment of fan messages requesting Dead Space 4 that I may have sent your way. We are a peaceful protest full of passionate Dead Space fans that just want to see another game. I'm sending you this email because I was wondering if I could interview you. Talk about your involvement with the Dead Space series. I know you and your team are hard at work on a new Star Wars game, so I understand if you cannot get back to me, but if you can, that would be incredible. I was also wondering if you could help our Dead Space 4 movement. Tanya Clarke has already agreed to help our movement. Gunnar Wright wants to do another Dead Space again. Recently, Visceral Games tweeted regarding Dead Space 4 that, quote, "There is always a chance if enough people want it." We are super happy you guys have acknowledged the possibility of a Dead Space 4. Thank you for your time, and I hope to hear back from you. Sincerely, James. Fortunately, Chuck responded and said this: "Hi James, thanks so much for reaching out. We're always super excited and honored to hear from our passionate fans for sure. I'm checking right now with EA's marketing for permission to grant you an interview per your request. I am not able to speak on the behalf of EA for Dead Space without their permission, so I'll let you know what they say. Smiley face. Thanks, we'll let you know soon, Chuck." That was sent on May 15th at 5:18 p.m. I responded with the following: "Thank you, I look forward to hearing back from you." The next day, May 16th at 4:16 p.m, Chuck responded: "Hi James, I'm seeing," I think that's a typo, I think you meant to say, "I'm sending you Jino Talens," I hope I pronounced that right, "my marketing partner here, so he can discuss with you the situation surrounding Dead Space and what EA would need to be mindful of granting an interview. Take it away, Jino. Thanks, Chuck." So now we look who Jino is. As you can see, he's been with Electronic Arts for many years, a brand voice lead, a PR manager for over 8 years. So this guy has worked at EA for a long time, and his job now is to serve trusted communications across all teams within Electronic Arts. On May 17th at 3:41 a.m., Jino sent me a message. It's a.m. because I live on the East Coast, they're on the West Coast, so it was probably not 3 a.m. over there. But anyway, he said the following: "Thanks, Chuck, and hello, James. James, if you can tell me a little bit more about this interview opportunity, that would be great. We don't have anything to add to the future of Dead Space story, and the subject of this email thread and the information below feels like the conversation would be dipping into that. If the conversation stays focused on your love for the franchise and past games, we can look into doing watching the interview. Let me know if you have any questions. So, as you can tell, guys, we are diving straight into this Dead Space territory. Let's continue. I replied and I said this email, which I think is very important, and I'm happy I sent it this way. I said the following: thanks for getting back to me. Yes, I will mostly be passionate about the series, your involvement, how it got started, the journey, etc. Regarding the interview, we, and by we I mean me and my fan base as well as the Dead Space fan base, understand that at the moment there are no plans for another Dead Space game. We know that EA has a license to produce new and exciting Star Wars games, which I'm looking forward to playing. I also wanted to let you guys know that we have started a Dead Space 4 movement to echo this game into existence. We believe there is still a large audience out there for another major Dead Space game. Even a remaster of the trilogy for the new consoles excites us. We are very happy to see the entire main trilogy on Xbox One through the backwards compatibility, which is great, and we understand that EA isn't a fan of remasters but still wanted to show them our excitement for one. Here's the best part of the email. I understand that right now a new Dead Space game isn't on your radar. I just want everyone on Visceral Games and EA to know that I, as well as the Dead Space community, will continue to push and advocate for another Dead Space for as long as it takes. We will not give up, and hopefully one day we can see a new game in the series. We have support from Tanya Clarke and Gunnar Wright so far. We are strong in numbers, and we are just a passionate fans with an eager taste for more of this fantastic universe and IP. Thank you for your time. Please let me know when you or Chuck would be available for an interview. Also, what do you think about our movement for another Dead Space game? Do you think that's a possibility in the future, or is that too early to tell? This morning he responded, which means as of right now, guys, Visceral Games and EA know of the Dead Space 4 movement. They know that we want another game in existence. They know that we're fighting back, so they are well aware of what we are doing and will continue to do. He responded and said the following: Hi James, I definitely love your passion for the Dead Space franchise, as it's always great to hear such a loyal fan base that wants more and will even start a movement for it. We won't be able to comment on anything related to the series moving forward for a remaster perspective to a whole new game. I want to be clear on that and ensure you'll just be asking questions about the past games that have been released. Can you confirm? Also, where would this interview appear? On a podcast, on social, on your fan website? Please provide those details as well. Thanks. I replied and said this: the questions would just be on the past games, yes. The interview would be uploaded to my YouTube channel, JKP Rising. Would you want to upload it somewhere else, or maybe both? Like a Dead Space celebration for the backwards compatibility on Xbox One. My YouTube channel is www.youtube.com/c/JKP Rising. I went a couple more steps forward with this email and said the following: I have two questions if you don't mind. You don't have to answer these two questions, so I understand if you cannot. So before he said he cannot comment on a possible remaster of the trilogy or a brand new Dead Space game, but he did not say that he cannot comment on the Dead Space franchise itself. My first question was, is the Dead Space series cancelled? My second question was, what do you think about Visceral Games' tweet? And I linked them to the tweet where Visceral Games said, quote, there's always a chance if enough people want it. After replying to a fan who said, huge Dead Space fan, please could you tell me if there's any chance of a Dead Space 4? So they acknowledged the project, and I linked the EA representative that tweet. And finishing up my email, I ended it with, thank you once again for taking time out to reply to me. Let me know if you have any more questions. And that is it, guys. He has yet to respond to that email. Once again, I'll let everyone know what is going on regarding this Dead Space 4 movement progression as usual. If you guys like Dead Space, subscribe to JKP Rising. EA and Visceral Games are now aware of our Dead Space 4 movement. The company that makes Dead Space has acknowledged the project Dead Space 4. We are strong in numbers. Don't give up. Let's keep letting EA and Visceral Games know that we want this game to become reality. We need to keep letting them know that every single day, and that's how we make more progression. Special thanks to Tanya Clarke for pushing the movement forward. She is on board, as well as Gunnar Wright and the many passionate fans. Let's echo Dead Space 4 into existence. Let's not give up. Keep calling them, emailing them. You know the drill. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. My name is James of JKP Rising. Next Saturday, May 27th, I'll let everyone know what time. I'll be hosting a Dead Space 2 community gaming night with everybody. So feel free to join me. Let's talk Dead Space. Let's talk the movement. Let's talk the future. Let's have fun. Once again, my name is James of JKP Rising. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. I would not be here without your support. Thank you. Have a great day. Let's make this happen. We are strong in numbers. Always remember that. I will see you next time.